Darkcast Network. Welcome to the dark side of podcasts.
Warning. The following podcast may occasionally contain strong language and material that is not suitable for all ages. If you are easily offended, it is highly advised that you turn back now. However, if you're a degenerate, welcome, brethren. You've found your home.
Welcome to the Crime Diner. We are a Jersey podcast, and on the menu is a variety of true crime, cults, mysteries, historical hilarities, and sometimes victim stories. We do this within a Dinner with Friends theme. I'm Nydia.
I'm Dana.
I'm Cindy.
Last week, we did a victim story.
Yes.
And we talked with Nikki, whose mother had been murdered, and it has been unsolved for over 30 years, even though the alleged murderer confessed to it in the 911 call.
In my opinion, certainly.
Yeah. So,
and you know, I'm a professional, so.
I mean, we have established that you are not only a masseuse, right? A massage therapist. Yeah. You are also a doctor, and a lawyer.
And a lawyer, yeah.
Yes, among other things.
I have legal advice, absolutely.
Yes, you dabble.
Yes.
Yes. So this week, I'm going to tell you about my second specialty, my side hustle, and my two favorite things as of late.
Okay.
Cyberbullying, that can be so fun, and eBay.
Okay.
So I'm going to talk about that a little bit.
All right, I'm looking forward to it.
Yes. So, but first, the food. Let us pray. Bless us, O patrons, for these thy gifts, which we are about to receive from thy donations through Patreon every month, under the power of the V Podcast.
Cult.
Oh, is this Mexican?
It's a wrap of some sort?
Yeah, it's a wrap.
And corn like a salsa?
Oh, that looks like corn? Street corn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, what is it?
So it is street corn. So the meal is actually out of California inspired.
Oh, okay. All right.
So the elote is kind of like, you know.
Yeah.
Like a Tex-Mex kind of situation?
Right,
okay.
right. Well, you know, the West.
Bastardized Mexican food.
Right, bastardized Mexican food.
My favorite. We love a bastard.
The burrito itself is a San Diego burrito, which has French fries, meat, an avocado sauce inside of there, all of that stuff.
Oh, and it also costs an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
And then for dessert...
Oh, shit.
Oh, that looks delightful. Wait, that's some kind of chocolate ganache.
On top of a cake,
And it's cake, and then it's got a center filling. What is it?
Yeah.
Boston cream pie.
Oh, okay, yes.
Okay.
She got the theme.
Gotcha.
She got the theme.
She gave me two states, California and Massachusetts, so I wanted to tie both of them into the full meal.
Yes.
Okay. You guys tasted the drink.
Yes.
Yeah, what was the drink?
It is called a Cape Codder.
Cape Codder.
It's called a Cape Codder, but it's basically vodka and cranberry
Vodka
juice.
and cranberry. It tastes delicious, yeah. A classic.
All
yes, yes. Kept it simple.
We love it.
All right.
She may not even have put any alcohol in it this time because it actually tasted very good. And I'm like, she's on to us. That we've become lightweights during this podcast.
I did force y'all to take the tequila shot this week.
That is true. That is true.
I mean, you don't have to force me. I liked it.
Yeah. All right, let's go.
All right.
How was your Southern Californian
San Diego burrito?
San Diego, right.
Yeah. It was delicious. That avocado, I mean, is there anything better than avocado?
She said it was like avocado and...
Crema.
Oh, my God. Delicious. I could have just if the bowl would have been a smidge bigger.
Right.
Just a hair, not too much.
Right.
I just would have sat right in it.
Right in it.
Just a little like a little bird
wiggle.
bath, put it under my armpits. Yeah.
Oh my God. And your skin would have been better for it, honestly.
My God.
Yes, that and the chicken, and apparently there were some fries that we totally freaking
I know, I
skimmed
stuffed
over.
a couple in there in the end. That was good. But the corn.
Oh, that was the star of the show.
Delicious.
Oh my
very,
God.
very good. Oh, love that.
That street corn. Oof, what a whore.
Exactly.
I love it with the tahini. I put tahini on everything.
It's so good. It's so fucking good.
Tahini for president.
For real. For real.
Delicious.
What about the Boston cream cake?
The Boston cream cake, I mean,
pie.
The Boston cream
was
pie.
not a pie.
That's
no
actually what
crust.
it's called.
Well, there's no crust. It was double layered.
Right. I mean, it was a cake.
It was a cake.
Anyway,
It's a cake, but we all know it's a cake, but it's actually...
Because, like, a cream pie to me is like a pie with cream.
and a crust.
And a crust.
No cake.
Yeah, right.
No sponge.
But this was like a really great sponge cake.
Right. With cream in the center.
Cream in the center.
Right.
It was like a pudding, I guess.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It was like a Boston cream. That's my least favorite donut.
Oh, okay. There's a
traditional Boston cream pie.
I won't have it.
Got it. It was delicious. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to take anything away from it.
Yeah.
It presented.
We love a ganache.
We love a ganache. Mm-hmm. We love a filling. You don't love a filling.
I don't love a filling.
I love a filling. The sponge is world renowned.
Yeah.
It's Danny's sponge
Cindy's
cake.
wife.
Yes.
Cindy's wife's cake.
And it was delicious. It ate.
A meal fit for a king, I guess.
Yeah. I did not eat as much of the Boston cream pie because I need to digest some of that.
It is the problem with the format that we have switched to because of the stare situation. The back and forth would be a little too much for us.
Yes.
But it does make it harder to not have a story between dessert, you know?
And the drink. Let's talk about that drink.
Yeah, this drink is so good.
Yes. It's cranberry juice. It's vodka. It's, it's simple. It's simple.
Yeah.
And to the point. Mm-hmm. I liked it. I was here for it. But right now I'm...
It reminds me of when I was first 21.
Right.
And I didn't really know how to order drinks at a bar.
Right,
and I'd be like, can I just get a Cosmo? It tastes Cosmo-esque.
Right.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Minus the triple sec,
yeah,
minus
I
the
could
lime.
Just be like, I could say Cosmo. I felt like sophisticated if I said Cosmo.
Exactly. Like you weren't just
I knew what I was talking about. Yeah. It was that, or I'd be like, Long Island iced tea.
Yeah. I would order Sex on the Beach. I would order slippery nipples, things like that.
Shows the difference on the ages because I'm assuming when Cosmos were extra popular was Sex and the City.
I guess I didn't watch that show, but that was right around when I was my early 20s. So
that's what I'm assuming. And Nitty, of course, went with Sex on the Beach because she was already too old when Sex and the City came out.
Yes, I was already in my late 20s or something. But I was a cocktail waitress for years and years. So
right.
Yeah, White Russians. That's what I used to drink.
God damn.
Yeah,
that's a heavy on the tum-tum,
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Oh my God, but that was pre-lactose intolerance. Could you imagine me now drinking that?
No.
Holy shit.
I could never.
Right.
I could never. They are good though. Like they do taste good.
Ish.
Yeah. Like
they're like, sweet. They're sweet.
Sure. Yeah.
Sweet tooth. Now my blood sugar wouldn't handle it.
Right. Yeah. No. No thanks.
Right. So usually around this time, we do a whole lot of shit talking.
Yeah.
And
it's our favorite thing.
It's been a slow news week.
Yeah.
For us. Yeah. It's been a slow news week. I have, in news in my circle, in my world, my little world, because we all know the world is fucking burning right now. But in my little world, the world is not burning. I have been given access to an exclusive club.
Okay.
One of my kids earned a free day.
Okay. Our favorite thing.
Yes. So they earned a free day and they decided they wanted to play Uno, right? Which I was like, fine. But I said, before you start playing Uno, you have to establish a set of rules because everybody plays Uno very differently, right? So I said, establish a set of rules with Uno. If you get stuck, you got to call me over and I'm the mediator and I say, this rule goes, this rule doesn't go. Okay. I said that was the rule. Because if you're screaming and hollering, which is always what happens when kids play Uno, you're cheating. I'm like, then you're not having fun. And then I need to take it away because it's actually making you miserable and you don't know that it is, right? So a couple times I had to intervene. I used to tell my son that when he would yell at the video games. I'm like, this isn't fun for you. Let's turn it off.
Yeah.
And then he stopped screaming.
Yeah.
So long story short, I had to intervene a couple times, but then I went back to doing my paperwork. They went back to playing nicely. One of the boys, who is very light-skinned, light eyes, but his father's black, right? So he says the N-word. I didn't hear him. Hear him. Otherwise, he would have been in very much trouble.
Okay.
But there was claims that he said the N-word. So another very outspoken little girl, she says, you're not allowed to say the N-word. That's not your word. And he goes, yes, it is, because my dad's black. And I'm like, wow, this is like some philosophy over here, right? Yeah. They're philosophizing. So she was like, oh, okay, then you can say it. Well, you and Miss Apollonia can say it. And I was like, wait a minute, my head perked up, my ears perked up. So I was like, I didn't say anything. She was like, because she's Puerto Rican. And then another little girl was like, yeah, that's true. Because if you're Puerto Rican, then you can say it.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I didn't like try to say anything. I was just like, yeah, no thanks. No thanks. I'm good, guys. Thank you. No thanks. I said, why would you need to say that anyway? Well, in what case would I ever need to say that?
Why would you want to say that?
Right. And, but she was just, well, I just want you to know that you can say it. So I was just like, oh my gosh. So me and my other teacher friends, we were like, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. Like, you know, this little girl, I won't mention her name, she just said that I have the right to use the N-word. So my other friend, who happens to be Indian, you know, and she's got darker complexion. And she's like, I wonder if she would think that I'm allowed to say it. And I'm like, I don't know, like, she hasn't vetted you yet? And she's like, no, but she knows that my kids, because her husband's black. So she's like, she knows I'm in through my kids. So do my kids vet me? You know? And I'm like, oh, I don't know if that works like that. Because by those terms, Russell, my boyfriend, would be able to be vetted. You know what I mean? Because he's with, and she's like, yeah, I don't think so. I don't think it works like that. You know? So now we're like, it's a conundrum. Now it's like, okay, well, what allows you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nothing. Don't say it.
No. I know that. But what in her child's mind?
Them kids are setting you up. That's what they're doing, them kids.
Right, but
she coming for your throat.
What in her child mind makes it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I wonder if she has, like, maybe Afro-Latina friends or something.
She is, like, Afro-Latina.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Maybe that in her head, she's like, well, that means we can say it, so... Not that you are. I don't know.
But... Not that we all are or anything. Yeah. I mean, I just don't see what point I would need to say it. You know what I'm saying? But I was just like, oh shit. Like, I do like
wonder their little brains, like why they work that way. Yeah. And also that sucks that like that's even like a thing that you're like having happening your whole 5th grade, 6th grade class.
It was just like one of those social experiment kind of things, you know?
Yeah.
So speaking of social experiments, you know I'm the queen of transitions. Yes. And I did say that I wanted to start a poop corner.
Yes. Not a literal poop corner.
Yes, we are in the basement, but there's a bathroom down here.
Yes, there is.
But this kind of poop corner is a little bit of a history about that thing we all do, the defecation.
The pooping.
Yes. And I'm getting my information from a book called Poop Happened. I recently discovered.
Where did you get this book?
My library at school was closing. It's closing.
Okay.
And they gave away all the books.
Shit.
Yes. And so
the school library?
The school library, yes. They're revamping it.
Okay. And this book was in the school library.
In the school library. Okay. And I was here for it.
All right, let's hear it.
All right.
You know, just to reiterate.
Yes.
I'm not sure if I said it on the podcast or if I said it after, but I would just like to clarify that, like, history is a thing that I love.
Oh my God.
You know how I feel about history. And one of the things about history that fascinates me is like how people lived in the day to day, right? Like, what did women do when they had their periods?
Right. And all those fucking floofy clothes.
Or when they were like, you know, cutting their bodies and like bloodletting and shit and like doing all these like weird medical experiments. Exactly. And one of the other things that really fascinates me is like the pooping situation.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Because
they had times we had to dig a hole, cover it up, animals come and get us. And like if you didn't, like civilization would cease to exist.
Exactly.
So I am here for Poop Corner.
Exactly.
The history of Poop Corner.
It's a little bit of history in every episode.
I love it.
Yes. Until I forget to do one.
Okay.
So picture this. It's the year 1618. The place, Bohemia. An angry mob of Protestant rebels is marching through the streets of Prague, and they're armed and they're dangerous, and they're coming to the courtyard's main castle. They storm up the stairs of the tower, and picture this. It's a castle. It's got a moat, right? Mm-hmm. So everybody thinks the moat. We all thought the moat around the castle was designed to keep raiders out, to keep the enemy out.
Right.
Well, yes,
There's
it was.
Alligators in there.
You would think.
Yeah.
There was something floating in there, but it wasn't alligators.
Oh, no.
It was more like brown trouts.
No.
What they would do is these raiders would go up the stairs and they would find the court, right? They would be the court around the king, king's throne or whatever.
Yeah.
And they would take these ministers and advisors to the throne, and in an act of defiance against the crown, they would throw them out the window into the moat.
Okay.
Like some 50 feet.
Right.
Into the moat,
out
right?
there, like weird half circle windows with no.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Just right out
Up
the window,
gotcha.
right? And these people would survive.
Really?
I mean, and it wasn't just the clergy and the advisors; it was them and their servants. Right out, and they would survive that 50-foot drop.
How come?
Because they would land in ginormous piles of fucking fluffy poop.
No.
Yes.
Around the beautiful castle?
Around the castle. We're going to say it's beautiful, but...
Because you would think, like, it's a castle.
Right. No,
are we talking about, like, Windsor Castle has a thing of poop around it? The beautiful castle? Like Buckingham Palace?
Well, we're talking about Bohemia here, okay?
Prague is in, like, France, right?
Yeah, Prague.
Okay.
Yeah. So, this is what started the 30 Years' War.
The poop?
The throwing of the clergy and the ministers over the thing to, Yep.
And it's filled with poo.
How
did the poo get there?
That was their cesspool.
They would poop inside something and it would go down tubes or something?
Yeah, or out the window, like in the like the servants would take them out, and then you would poop in the the
little buckets.
They weren't buckets; they were like tubs. You know what I mean? And they had like a pitcher, a basin, right? And then in the morning, the servant would come and take it out. Floating in yellow, and they would come and take it out for you. And bring you a fresh one.
And they dump it out the window?
I mean, yeah.
Because you would think, like, if the servant is going to do it, why don't they just take it away from the castle? Far away.
Well, yes, but, that served a second purpose, and that was to...
Because the flies, the smell, the disease.
Yeah, but that was everywhere. Because, people would spit in the street. People would, shit in the streets. Yeah. And, like, these women wore these long dresses and they would just drag it with them. And there wasn't any, like, 24-hour dry cleaners or portable washing machines or anything like that. Yeah, so this is what was happening. The noblemen were being thrown into those
poop water.
Cesspools.
And they were like, we're going to have a 30-year war about this.
We're going to have a 30-year war about this.
Oh, my gosh.
Yep.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was poop.
And could you imagine, like, okay, so you're falling 50 feet into a pile of poop. That is getting in every crevice of your body.
All in your mouth and nose.
Causing infections. Think of the pink eye. Mm. This is a food
Well, I'm glad we already ate.
So that is just a taste.
And this is not a book being burned out of the 5th grade library.
No, it's not.
Okay,
no.
Perfect.
It's not.
Oh, what a bummer.
Yeah.
What a bummer.
What a bummer.
How much to drink it?
How much to take a swim in it?
Yeah. How much to take a swim in it?
Not to drink it.
Not to drink it, because that's not good.
That would be
you
like
would
drinking poison.
Yeah.
Although, how much to drink it?
How much to swim in it? Take a quick dip.
To take a quick dip, like a plunge and come right out?
To swim from one side to the other.
All right, let's start an auction. 10 million?
I would definitely do it for 10 million.
Okay.
I'd probably do it for $1 million, honestly.
$1 million?
I think so.
Really?
You don't think you'd do it for $1 million?
For $1 million? I don't know what I mean.
We're not talking about the fucking English Channel. We're talking about a goddamn moat,
Yeah, but what about if you have a cut and this causes like a serious infection?
And back then there's no antibiotics.
No, I'm not talking about back then. Okay. I'm talking about today.
We're talking about now,
yeah,
right?
Today.
Are you naked? Do I have clothes sticking to me? No, I gotta
have to wear a swimsuit for God's sake. That would go up your hoo-ha.
Yeah, just on my bottoms at least.
Yeah.
I'd do it for a cool meal.
Would you dip your head in?
I'm gonna donkey paddle across. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. I'm going to wear my goggles
right.
on my eyes.
Right.
And I'll plug my nose.
Uh-huh.
Because I don't want it in my nose.
Right.
And I'll just with my mouth.
And what about if it gets around the corners of your lips?
It's gonna. Because I'm gonna be fucking battling, bitch. I'm gonna be like, $1 million. $1 million.
Yeah, but like, what about like just a dip? Like if it was, you would do a dip? Would you do it for less? A dip
just
for less?
Just a dip? Just no
like,
head, no hair?
No. Like a dip up to your armpits.
For how much?
That's the thing. Would you do it for less than $1 million?
Probably.
How much?
How much poop are we talking?
It's up to your chest.
Oh, gosh. Because I don't even really, like, get my foot in the bay, you know? One time I lost a water sock in the bay, and I was pretty upset about it. And I'm imagining that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
It's going to be mucky.
Only it's not going to smell mucky.
It's going to smell worse than mucky.
Yeah.
It's going to smell yucky.
Yeah. So what would you do? How much would you
I'd still think that I would like to have $1 million.
$1 million to take a dip.
To take a dip. Which means,
but think about it. Okay, $1 million also to swim in it.
Yeah, which means if I'm going to swim across it, maybe I should raise the bar.
Right.
I don't know. $1 million is how long? $1 million is just 1 minute, just in and out.
Right.
That's good. That's a deal. That's a good
hell
deal.
Of a deal.
I'd take that deal.
For $1 million.
Yeah, I'd take that deal.
And so then you're upping the ante for the swimming it.
I'm going to need to know some more, like, specs. You know what I'm saying? How far is this swim? Is it going to take me 2 minutes to swim across? I'm getting across there fast. I'm fucking motorboating across that motherfucker. Like, we're getting across.
You're Michael Phelps singing?
Yeah. You won't even see me. I'll just be standing on the other end covered in shit.
Oh, my God.
I don't know.
I'm posing that to you, listener. How much would it take?
How much?
I keep saying there needs to be a show, like a dare show. You know what I mean? Like Fear Factor?
Yeah, like Fear Factor, they were doing this shit for $50,000.
I mean, that's nothing. But here's the thing.
You can't even quit your job for $50,000.
A series of dares, and you're taking an auction style thing, okay? It's an auction style thing.
Yeah, like Name That Tune.
Yes, they'll start you off at $1 million.
Absolutely.
And like, nope, I challenge that. I'll do it for 900. Yeah. And then the next person is like, okay, I'll do it for 800. And you keep going like that until one of you does it and gets the prize money.
Right. A Name That Tune type of situation. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
I'd watch that all day.
Oh my God, all day.
I'd watch that ass sniffing show all fucking day long. How much you gonna sniff that ass for? Not that much. I'll do it, bitch.
Oh, I don't know, man. Oh. Anyway, so yeah, I want to know. You listener.
Yeah. How much for a dip? How much to swim across?
Right. And we're talking about how far of a swim? A football field.
Oh, a football field, I need more than $100 million. More than $1 million.
Really?
I was thinking more like, 20 feet.
Okay,
like
let's say 20
like
feet.
the drawbridge is going to come down.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah.
20 feet to swim across. Oh, that would be a hard swim, too.
Yeah, because it's going to be thick, quicksandy. Thick. Yeah. She's a thick girl.
Yeah.
You gotta keep your mouth
splashing
shut.
it.
Yeah.
You'd splash it.
You'd really have to walk, honestly.
Oh, and the washing you would have to do. That shit would stay on your upper lip forever. That smell.
Oh my! Between your fingernails.
Oh my God!
Between your toes, like.
I know, and your crevices.
Oh yuck!
Yeah, and taking other people's poo out of your butt. Oh, I'd have to be power washed.
Yeah, I think we're gonna need a deep clean after that. Yeah.
Oh my God! All right.
Well, you've talked me out of it.
Yeah, we're done talking about. Although, if you want to challenge us. Listen, there's not much that we're not willing to do for money.
I'll talk about it. Yeah, I'll talk about it. Everything's worth a negotiation. Yeah.
Everybody has a price.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at y'all like, hell no.
You ain't doing it for no amount of money? Not $100 million?
I've mentioned this before, and I'll say it again. I'm just going to stay poor.
Really?
Damn.
I love things.
I just love not working.
Because honestly,
definitely not swimming, but
hear me out.
What?
$1 million. I could live in Costa Rica for $1 million.
With $1 million.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the lap of fucking luxury.
Okay.
On the side of a beautiful ocean, in the place I had the most fun my whole life.
Right.
Because I swam across 20 feet of shit water? Yes. Yes. 100% yes.
Okay.
100% yes.
I'm not saying I wouldn't.
Me and all my peeps, come on over and visit me in Costa Rica. Yeah. I'd be like, I would have a big picture of it. We'll have a big picture of it framed on the wall. This is me in the poop water. It paid for this house.
Hey, remember when we went to Costa Rica and they dipped us in mud?
Yeah, so it would be just like that.
Yeah, that's what you would look
stinky.
like.
Except way stinkier.
Yeah, and then like you would never be able to shake the smell of shit. Like, I mean, everywhere you go, you smell like shit.
I don't think that's true, but I don't think it would be something that would be like, I would wake up in the middle of the night and be like, ooh, I can't believe I did that. Like, I'll be like in my comfy, cozy, delicious bed with my like person that makes me food every morning and feel good about it. Like, yeah,
this is the house that shit bought.
That's right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe in America, $1 million is not going to get me that far.
No.
You know? But plenty of other places, paradise places, it will. Yeah. You know?
I am going to say there are plenty of people that do that for a living.
Yes.
That don't.
Lots of poop play.
Yeah.
That they probably be pretty close to it, though.
No. Plumbers. Septic people,
yeah.
septic tank repairs.
I don't think they go swimming in it, Dana.
No, but they get up into their fucking up to their nipples in it sometimes, and they're waders.
Yeah, but they have waders.
Yeah,
yeah.
Are you wearing waders in this situation?
I mean, in my head, I was half naked in a bikini bottom.
Yeah.
I don't want clothes sticking to me with poop water. You know what I mean? I was thinking it would be.
You want it touching your skin.
You're just going to touch your skin anyway.
Yeah. See, so I would have been thinking more like
a wetsuit.
Like a wetsuit, which would keep all of that on.
Yeah, but that feels like cheating, honestly.
Yeah.
And we're going to make an honest.
I would probably do that for $10,000.
Yeah, right. Put a fucking scuba mask on. I'm like, woo! I got wings on my
doing the backstroke. Dipping your hair in it.
No.
I got my scuba mask on. Like,
looking for fish.
Little fish swimming by. There's no fish.
There's no fish.
There's something brown, but it ain't a fish.
Anywho, I have a story to tell. We're being too silly. We need to start having things to talk about in our personal lives. Yeah. We need to stop living these boring ass lives.
Get a life, so we.
You know, and it's so funny. I'm so upset that this isn't the day after. Today's my daughter's birthday. We're supposed to go to an escape room with my 73-year-old mother.
I can't wait until next week to hear about it.
Oh my god, that's gonna be funny because my mom is just a trip. Okay?
Yeah, I can't wait to hear about it next week.
Yeah, so I have a story to tell you. Though.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
California has the largest population in the United States and the site of some of the most famous true crime cases in history. But there's more than meets the eye to the crime in California. Join Sean, Jessica, and Charles on the California True Crime Podcast as they cover crime both infamous and overlooked from around our state while looking at the deeper history that goes beyond beaches and movie stars.
We are Castles and Cryptids, where the castles are haunted and the cryptids are cryptic as fuck.
We're a couple of Canadian chicks who are fascinated by freaky shit, so join us as we fall down numerous rabbit holes.
Numerous, so very many rabbit holes. Fortune telling.
Yeah.
And this is episode 68. What lurks in the woods?
We're doing some axe crimes, axe murders, people hacked up. Yeah.
But yeah, we are doing high kill counts.
Yeah, the most killerist serial killers around.
Ah, the killiest of the killy. We are doing abandoned places. We talk true crime, cryptids, haunted AF stuff, and much, much more.
There are definitely some movie tangents in there, too, because we love our horror movie chat.
Yes, we do. So feel free to follow us on social media at Castles and Cryptids, and don't forget to keep it cryptic, eh?
Yeah.
So you all know that my side hustle is I'm an eBay seller, right? Mm-hmm. So I buy estates and then I sell them to people.
You buy things at estate sales.
Or whole estates. I have bought whole estates.
Like houses?
No, like the contents of a house.
Everything in it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
So I do
crazy.
that. Yeah. I do that and then I resell it, right? Mm-hmm. I piece it out, resell it, value it, whatever. So I've been doing that I've been doing that since 2004 on and off, but now I'm starting to do it more because that's what I plan on doing into my retirement for money.
Yeah.
My primary e-commerce site is eBay.
Okay.
Just like, you all know, right? So the most popular place for selling and, for auctioning and things like that, right? So my story has to do with eBay. But first, I have to take you on a road trip, all right?
All right.
Nestled just 15 miles west of Boston, the charming town of Natick, Massachusetts, boasts a population of approximately 36,000 residents, spread over 16 square miles. Renowned for its strong school system and bustling downtown area, Natick is a destination worth visiting. With a plethora of shops, restaurants, and entertainment venues, Natick's downtown district is a hub of activity. And for those who love the great outdoors, the 400-acre Cochituate State Park beckons with boating, fishing, hiking, and swimming opportunities. The town's history is also steeped in colonial heritage. Established as a colonial town in the early 1700s, visitors can explore several historic landmarks, such as the Natick Historical Society Museum and the Elliott Church. The latter was built in 1834 and remains one of the oldest church buildings in continuous use in the United States.
Wow, that's so fascinating.
Whether you're a local or a tourist, Natick's charm and welcoming atmosphere offers a great quality of life that's hard to beat. So Natick was also the home of David and Ina Steiner.
Okay.
The Steiners have been married for more than 30 years and worked together from their home for more than 20. They published a news website called E-Commerce Bites. It was founded in 1999 by Ina Steiner, who had a background in journalism and a passion for e-commerce.
Okay.
David handled the business side of things, and Ina did the reporting. They covered industry news, such as, whatever you would need to know about selling online. Okay. And the platforms. And this was 1999 where the .com boom and everything.
eBay is just taken off.
Well, no, eBay had been founded 4 years earlier, but I'll get to my story. Okay. Ina followed what was happening and how it impacted sellers. Okay. So anything that was going on, she would put it on her newsletter and let sellers know. People would write to them and they would say, hey, I'm having a problem with Amazon or I'm having a problem with eBay. So they would put up a section where they could just be a sounding board for others and, having the same issue. Mm-hmm. So, like a sounding board.
Like a bulletin board, sort of.
But e-bulletin,
Sure.
So most of their 600,000 readers were sellers on either eBay, Amazon, or Etsy. And the Steiners said that e-commerce executives also read Ina's articles closely. So industry observers would contact them with questions as whether they were pertaining to the problems that were going on. So let me explain. If you're a trader, right? If you're an online trader or any kind of Wall Street trader, you're going to be wanting to be in the know of how this operates. What kind of problems are they having? And what kind of problems are they having that they're not disclosing to the stockholders or whatever? Because in order for them to say, oh, this is the thing that we need to trade, or this is the thing that you need to jump on, you need to be insider knowledge. You know what I mean? Yeah. You need to get a little bit of insider knowledge. So they would go to her and they would read what people are complaining about.
What's her name went to jail for?
What, like insider trading? No, people who recommend stocks and stuff like that, they always trying to get into what's happening in the, you know what I mean? Just what other people are experiencing. Okay. The rumor mill.
Yeah, sure.
Because they'll never publicly say, hey, we're having problems with this.
Yeah.
But you can know if you look at the reviews and things like that, right?
Yeah.
So that's what was happening, right? So even though they only had 600,000 readers at the time, which is a lot,
yeah.
Right, but at the time it's not like influencer, it's influencer, but not like multi-million followers.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
So they're still little guys, right? 4 years before their little newsletter came out, the online auction site eBay launched the e-commerce revolution.
Okay.
Originally called Auction Web, the site was launched as a hobby by Pierre Omidyar.
Okay.
All right. Who had an interest in computers and entrepreneurship at the time.
Okay.
So the first item sold on the site was a broken laser pointer, which sold for $14.83 to a collector of broken laser pointers.
Okay.
The sale inspired Omidyar to turn Auction Web into a larger auction site. In 1996, Omidyar hired Jeffrey Skoll as the first employee of Auction Web, and the two worked together to grow the site. They renamed the company eBay in 1997 and incorporated the following year. Over the decades, it's drawn in 134 million users, from mom and pop collectors on the hunt for bargains to small business owners such as myself. So in 2022, users sold almost $74 billion worth of goods through eBay. But buried in an otherwise dull annual financial disclosure, a note on page 105 hinted at a scandal inside the Silicon Valley giant.
Okay.
Last year.
Just last year.
There
was a scandal.
They hid it inside their reports, financial reports. So like if you're a stockholder, you get these financial reports and they tell you like everything that went on in the business and blah, 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 right?
Okay.
On page 105.
So they were
like, oh, by the way, there was a scandal, right?
Okay.
It referred to an inquiry from the U.S. attorney about stalking and harassment of the editor and publisher of an online newsletter at the hands of eBay employees.
Oh, shit.
And this is as petty as it gets. Wait till you hear
okay, I
what
love
happens.
petty.
Yes. I love petty too.
Yeah.
But you gotta
only like petty from the right people.
Yeah. All right. So it turns out that on August 8, 2019, so this was just
right before COVID,
a campaign of psychological warfare and corporate terrorism was launched upon an unsuspecting small town couple at the hands of some very powerful people.
Okay.
So this is like if we, Small Potatoes Podcast, talked shit on Trump, and Trump decided to destroy us.
To send an army on
with
us.
all of his power.
Okay.
Just because two little Small Potatoes people
really
said something bad about them.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So
you've set the scene.
Oh, I've set the scene. In the morning of August 8th, as Ina and her husband opened their email, they found that they were getting bombarded with signups to crazy newsletters. Newsletters the Steiners never signed up for, such as Sin City, Fetish Night, the Satanic Temple, the Communist Party, and dozens of others.
Okay.
All right. Then somebody started harassing them on Twitter through direct messages. It was basically like, shut up or else, but in a more threatening manner.
Because of their newsletter.
Okay. All right. And like really extremely vulgar stuff. Okay. 3 days later, the Steiners got a strange call. Somebody left a voicemail for them saying that they couldn't fulfill the order for a wet specimen. David called them back and he said, what is a wet specimen? And, you know, why would you think that we would want that, right?
Yeah.
Well, somebody had ordered a pig fetus to be delivered to them and they couldn't fulfill the order because usually pig fetuses are sent to labs, not to residential, you know, places. And so that's when they realized that someone might be angry at something that Ina wrote, right? But they couldn't figure it out. They're like, who the fuck hates us like this, right? So they reported the harassment to the police. After the police officer took the report, he stepped outside. So he comes into the house, takes a report from them, steps outside. There's a package on the steps.
Oh, shit.
Right? So he waited. You know, he's like, open the package. I'm here. Like, let's see if this... So she opens up the package, and it looked like flesh and hair inside of the box. And she kind of like gave a little shriek, you know? It was a pig mask from the horror movie Saw.
Oh, shit.
You know, that's like the last thing that the people would see, right? Over the next week, someone sent boxes of live cockroaches and spiders and mealworms to the Steiners. Pornography was sent to their neighbors, but addressed to David.
Oh, shit.
Yes. So, like, you know, that's fucking petty,
Yeah,
bro.
that's really petty. Also, you shouldn't be opening your neighbor's mail.
No. Yeah, but it was like porn, but like as if David had sent it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
All right. So on social media, the Steiners' home was listed as the site of yard sales and sex parties. So they would open these Craigslist ads, and they would be like, you know, willing to have sex, come after 10. You know what I mean?
So then a bunch of strange people are coming to their house at random times in the night.
And, you know, random yard sale shit. You know what I mean?
God.
So people would just show up at their house. And then...
This is worst case scenario.
I mean, right?
Yeah.
So then David receives a book about surviving the loss of a spouse. You know? Like, that's a fucking threat.
That's scary, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's like something the mafia would send you.
Like a horse head in your...
Yeah. Or like surviving the death of a spouse is like, your wife is dead. They took that as a death threat, right?
The police did?
No, the Steiners. So a few short days later, they received an expensive funeral wreath at their house. God. Yes. To them, they saw it as confirmation that these people were going to hurt or kill Ina.
Yeah.
All right. So police at first thought it was a small town prank, like, you know, people from the neighborhood pranking them or whatever. And then David installed security cameras at their home.
Okay, that's cool.
For 3 weeks, the threats and the packages kept coming.
Okay.
Then at that point, the Steiners were afraid to leave their house or to stay home. They were just like, we don't know what the fuck is coming next, right? After David noticed a van and later a car following him, he was terrified, but he managed to get a photo of the license plate.
Good.
And this broke the case open.
Good.
All right. Natick detective John Haswell was working on the case with Sergeant Jason Sutherland. He ran the license plate of the car that had been following David, and it came back to a rental agency. So he contacts the rental agency, and he gets the name of the renter as Veronica Zay. So he didn't know anything about the Steiners at that point, that they ran a newsletter or anything like that, other than, you know, what was going on with them, what they were complaining about. So he called them and he said, are you familiar with that name? And they weren't, right? But Ina did a little bit of research and she's like, oh my God, she works for eBay. And they were like fucking flabbergasted. Because they were like, why would an eBay executive be...
She's an executive?
Threatening. It goes all the way to the tippity top, okay? Wait. So they couldn't understand why an eBay employee would be following, like, eBay is fucking in California.
Yeah, like a massive...
They're in Natick, Massachusetts. Yeah. Like, what the fuck? Like, how, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why are you following us? What's this about? So Sergeant Sutherland tracked Veronica Zay's rental car to the Boston Ritz-Carlton.
Fuck.
And he called her from the lobby.
Bitch is staying in style, too.
Yeah, I mean... He called her from the lobby, and when he called up to the room, she said she'd be down after she finished a conference call.
Okay.
But she never showed up.
Okay.
Fucking...
Jumped out the window.
Ousted.
Yeah.
Right? They left town, didn't talk to police. Meanwhile, Haswell, the other detective, had been chasing down another lead. He learned the funeral wreath sent to the Steiners was bought with a gift card from a grocery store in Silicon Valley, not far from eBay headquarters. They were less than 8 miles away from eBay headquarters. Dude. All right, he was able to get photographs of them purchasing the gift cards, and it was Veronica Zay again.
What's her fucking problem?
Right? So the FBI took over 10 months later. I mean, they were just like, listen, they must have been slow.
Okay.
Because you or I get harassed and we're just like, fuck if we give a shit about it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
yeah.
Somebody doesn't like you. But these people, they were on it. The FBI got on the case 10 months later.
Shit.
The U.S. attorney in Massachusetts, Andrew Lelling, announced the indictment of 6 employees and contractors from eBay. The complaint alleged that the victims were targeted because eBay executives were unhappy with the coverage of eBay on the couple's website. A fucking little newsletter.
Crazy.
No, it gets crazier, my darling. What these higher-ups were trying to do is basically attack the First Amendment freedoms, you know? I mean, they just didn't want anything published about their company in a negative light.
Also, it's fucking eBay.
And a little newsletter.
Yeah, like, what?
Right? Like, it's so silly.
It makes no sense.
That's like you trying to sue a school newspaper because they printed something mean about you.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
Crazy.
Right? So they wanted to destroy Ina and her publication. So former federal prosecutor Andrew Lelling said that the plan to target the Steiners was hatched at eBay. What was unique about this case is that you had relatively senior management at a Fortune 500 company who thought it was a good idea to launch what can only be described as a campaign of terror.
Did they just like wake up one morning and be like,
no, but I'm going to tell you how it went down.
Jesus Christ, this is crazy.
So they were just targeting a middle-aged couple in fucking Natick in the middle of nowhere. Like, why? And the why is actually harder than it seems.
Okay.
Investigators learned in April of 2019, eBay's then CEO, the fucking CEO of eBay, Devin Wenig, shared a link to a post that Ina had written about his annual pay. Okay. She just posted how much he makes and, and about how they're giving sellers a hard time with fees and all that stuff. Okay. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, little critical article
about how much he makes as a CEO, and he got butthurt. So eBay's chief communication officer, Steve Weimer, wrote back, "We're going to crush this lady." Right? So now it's the chief communications officer and the fucking CEO, the two head honchos up there, right? So about a month later, the CEO texts back, "Take her down." Okay? So prosecutors say that Steve Weimer later texted eBay security director Jim Baugh, "I want to see ashes, as long as it takes whatever it takes."
This is very dumb.
Right. So so let me recap. The head honcho, the CEO, sees this negative thing, sends the link to the chief financial communications officers, whatever the fuck he is, the next higher up, right? The one below
CFO.
him. Yeah. And tells him, "Check this bitch out." And he's like, "Oh.
She's going down.
She's going down." So he then contacts the chief of security at their company
at eBay
and says, "Whatever it takes, take her down."
Like murder.
Whatever it takes, Dana.
Wow.
Whatever it takes. I want to see ashes.
That is clear.
I mean. So just a few days later, investigators say that Jim Baugh sets up a meeting with his security staff at eBay's California headquarters, posted a map of Natick on the wall, and then dispatched a whole ass team to Boston.
No.
For these two little people.
That's so... You have too much time on your hands.
You have too much time.
You have too much money. You have too much time on your hands.
Right.
Go directly to jail.
Yeah, the stockholders needed to know this, not on page 105, on page 1 maybe.
Yeah.
This is how they're using your freaking, your time.
Yeah.
So, 7 people who worked for eBay's safety and security unit, including 2 former cops and a former nanny, all pleaded guilty to stalking or cyber stalking charges. Senior Security Director Jim Baugh was sentenced to 5 years in prison. Veronica Zay was sentenced to a year of home confinement and probation, or in other words, COVID. Because that's what was happening.
Sounds good, yeah.
That's what was happening.
Yeah.
It was 2020.
Yeah, right. So they can't put them in jail, right? Yeah.
So, well, he got sentenced to 5 years, but I don't know if 2020 put that off or whatever. But to date, eBay has not been charged with any crimes. The company made a statement that the conduct of the former employees was wrong and that it had fully cooperated with a government investigation, but they failed to take responsibility for the fact that the plan was hatched in eBay headquarters.
Yeah.
In a conference room. It was paid for by ultimately eBay.
Absolutely.
So they still might be able to, because it's still an ongoing investigation.
Yeah. Bring charges against them.
They might, yeah. But I mean, it's like this. Companies have employees who do wrong within the company, and the company didn't really know that it was happening. So it's not like necessarily they have something to do with it. So Loveling says that there was not enough evidence to criminally charge the 2 top executives, Wenig or
I want to see ashes.
Weimer. I know. But they did send those texts, right? The I want to see ashes text. and the whatever
it wouldn't even
have
happened if it wasn't for those two.
Right. It's obvious that it started from the top, right? Jalise McDonough and Rosemary Scupicio are representing the Steiners in a civil case against eBay and its former executives. Their opinion is, if you're in the C-suite, it's your job to know what your employees are doing. How can you sit back and say you didn't know what they were doing? Yeah. You know what I mean? Especially the head of security. Yeah. You know? What beef did they have? The beef was with the CEO.
Right. And unfortunately, that is the only way to, like, deal with these corporations, right? No legal ramifications will ever come to anyone. No. You have to take their money.
The little guys take the fall. Yeah. And, you know.
Yeah, someone went to jail for 5 years. Like, fuck you.
So, the two top executives, of course, deleted their original messages, which is obstruction of justice. Mm-hmm. The current U.S. attorney has said the investigation into eBay is still ongoing. Mm-hmm. Steve Weimer was fired for cause by eBay and now runs the Boys and Girls Club of Silicon Valley.
Perfect. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the good. Boys and Girls. Just right around the kids. Go have fun.
Yep. He said that his texts were mischaracterized and that he learned of the employee's conduct only after the fact. The former CEO...
I want Ash's mischaracterized.
I know. The former CEO, Wenig, said that he was appalled at what happened, and had he been aware at the time, he would have stopped it. He did resign from eBay in September of 2019 with a $57 million exit package. Wow. All in all, there were 5 employees of eBay's safety and security unit who pleaded guilty to stalking or cyber stalking charges. Jim Baugh, who was the senior security director, was sentenced to 5 years in prison, while Veronica was sentenced to confinement. And to date, eBay has not been charged with any crimes. Wow. So,
wow.
Yes.
Holy shit.
So a little bit of dirty laundry.
How do you even give a fuck?
Right?
Like, what?
I know. I'm like, wait a minute. What the fuck? Like, that's not even, like, 600,000 followers in 2019.
It's not even like 1 million followers.
Thank you. Like, it's nothing. They're not influencing jack shit. Yeah. Like, so they no longer publish the e-commerce bites. But oh my God.
I just can't even imagine, like, that's like someone tweeted at you and you like rained down an arsenal on them for no reason. Like,
right?
You got your feelings hurt over a fucking newsletter?
Right.
Like, it's 1994? Like, are you okay?
Right. That's like...
This makes like something feels like a mental break happened.
Right. It feels like you're going after such small potatoes in the scheme of things. Like, because I'm sure Forbes or Business Weekly or any of those much larger publications had some kind of critical.
Yeah, like go after speech, Amazon or something. Like I don't, eBay at this point, like in my brain, like if I were going to buy something,
right,
eBay's probably the last place I would look. You know what I mean? Like you have bigger fish to fry than this weird little couple in Podunk, wherever the fuck.
Right. But let's get mean for a minute.
Okay.
Let's talk about their tactics, though. Did you love it?
I mean...
Like, how great to send that to an ex.
Yeah, like, if the scenario was different.
Oh, my God.
Right? If it wasn't this
no.
massively rich...
Yeah, what they did was wrong. But let's talk about what
I'm just saying, yeah, like if the scenario was different, if this was me and my whomever, my friend was talking shit on Facebook,
and you wanted to harass them a little bit or a lot.
I mean, it's even a lot for that. Like, it's just
let's scenario. Okay, your ex was really bad to you. I'm not saying that your ex was. I'm just saying scenario.
Right.
And now she's in a new relationship and happily married, and you send her wife a book about coping with your cheating spouse.
Right.
Would that be deliciously revengeful?
I think that would be so fun.
That would be fun, right?
Would I send her a fucking funeral wreath?
No.
That seems like a lot. That seems like a lot. But would I send her maybe like Private Eye 101 book?
Right.
Yes. How to do home tracking on your vehicle?
Right.
Sure. That's probably a good idea. Right. But like
some self-help books on, your narcissistic loving your narcissistic partner.
Yeah. Loving yourself beyond.
Right.
Me first.
Exactly.
What is it? Me before we?
Yeah. Yeah. So like things like that.
Yeah, I think that would be I mean, it's not I personally don't.
Right.
But, I mean, if I was going to support someone to do that, I think that would be a great idea.
It would be fun.
Yeah, it would be so fun.
Send their religious aunt some porn from them.
Yes. Yeah.
That would be
like,
fucking...
accidentally, like, with their name on it. Like, oh, maybe they got this sent here.
Yeah.
Like, oh, honey, you got a package here.
Yeah.
And then you open it up, and it's like, maybe a confetti bomb. Dick bomb. Dick bombs.
Yeah.
They could be that.
Right. I'm just saying.
And that happened to me, and it was from a very good friend of mine.
Can you picture them at the Ritz-Carlton in Boston, like, coming up with all these ways to, like, fuck with these little old people?
But the thing is, they came to the Ritz-Carlton with the plan.
Oh, yeah.
They executed at the Ritz-Carlton, and then when they got busted, that bitch fucking grappling hooked out the window. You know what I mean? She was like, a fucking Pink Panther out the fucking window. Like, what the fuck?
She sure did.
She said, no, thank you, no, sir. Come and get me.
How
Catch
did
me
she
if you
sneak
can.
out? How did she sneak out?
She fucking tied all the sheets together, and threw it from the 10th story, and like rappelled down the building. The fuck? Or she put like a Carmen Sandiego big hat on him and just walked past him. He never knew what even she looked like. He just walked right past her.
She probably switched outfits with the maid.
Yeah. She hopped in the laundry bin and had to take her outside. She held down a taxi in the rain.
Oh my god, dude. If I was her though, I would have been so scared. Fuck. Like, oh, the jig is up.
Because also you think you have the power and the money behind you of eBay.
Right. And you're like, I'll never get caught.
What kind of fucking moron buys the car in your own name?
Credit card?
You idiot. What are you guys doing?
She was using the petty cash.
Oh my god. What do you... Oh my god.
Also, the funeral wreath was beautiful.
That's sick, bro.
I was like, holy shit, they spent a lot of money on that.
And that's the thing, is like the money is endless, right?
Right,
It's sick. It's sick. It's so dark.
These poor old people were shaking in their socks, too.
And they didn't even know what the fuck for.
Right. They had no idea. Still scratching their heads.
Yeah, like to have your email like spammed and shit. Like if you're like a techie pro, like you could spam my email. I'd never know.
Right.
Like, I check that shit like once a month. like 74,000 emails or something.
Good luck trying to spam me.
Yeah, I would never notice. But like regular people, Jesus Christ, that had to be a couple grand.
Gorgeous wreath, yeah.
But yeah, like a couple that like has their little computer company or whatever they're doing, their little newsletter, like they're gonna notice the satanic temple sending them shit.
The Communist Party newsletter.
It's so wild.
They spent money on those newsletters.
Yeah,
too.
they spent time too.
Oh my god, bro! I don't.
That's so wild.
Yeah, but also if the order comes from your boss, bro, like. And you still have to do 5 years because your boss ordered you to.
Yeah, but you know how much money he had to get from that? They had to give him some sort of severance.
Some sort of... Like once he gets out of jail.
The CEO got $1 billion, whatever did you say?
57
No, but like, do you
million?
think that the head of security took the fall for these two assholes?
Of course. That's the way those companies work. 100%.
So he did 5 years to maybe... Would you do 5 years in jail for...
For how much? 57 million? Yes.
No.
Yes.
All right, let's lower the price.
She's like 5 million.
What's the least?
For 5 years?
Yeah, in jail.
Million per year.
In federal prison. In
federal prison?
Yeah, federal.
Yeah, at least just $1 million. $1 million a year. Federal prison's probably pretty nice. You know what I mean? That's like a blue collar, like a situation. Yeah, we're good. What was it, white collar?
She's gonna go to a white collar kind of crime. I mean, she didn't do anything like
security. He's fine. He's probably fucking drinking with his like
toilet
round ice cubes in there. The way no one would bother me for 5 years and I come out with a cool fucking you know he got more than 5 million too.
Right.
Had to.
Yeah.
Had to.
attending Martha Stewart type class, cooking classes.
Yes. And all the prison sex you want.
Yeah. Also, I'll join the little Christmas pageant that they have.
Yeah.
You know, what are we making license plates? Why not? Can I work in the kitchen? You wanted me to fold laundry? Like I'd work on my memoirs.
There you go.
You know?
Yeah.
Maybe I'd work on my other podcast. I'm reading the quiet stories into a microphone.
There you
I
go.
don't know. Whatever. Let's do my art and sell it. Like, this is my federal prison art. Like,
Yeah, there you go.
Fuck, I'll read a book.
Right.
Maybe
You'll start
I'll
like
make
a little website where you're dating, like you're
a little
meeting
makeshift hammock in there.
There you go.
And I have a little window maybe, and with some bars on it. Sure. Get a nice cross breeze going. I'll take my 2 sheets and like tie them up. A little hammock. Yes, please.
All right.
Sign me up, bitch. Can I get a little applesauce cup? I'll make a little shank with my fork. My little spork.
Why would you need to make a shank? It's federal prison.
I mean, when in Rome.
Okay.
You know?
When in Rome. All right. All right. So, I mean, that's my story. That's it. That's it. That's all.
Oh, God.
So that's it for us. That's it. We're done. We'll see you next week. In the meantime, you can subscribe so you don't miss out. We have merch. We have Patreon. We have Buy Me a Coffee. And somebody very much indeed took us up on that and bought us 7 coffees on Buy Me a Coffee. And for that, ma'am, we thank you. We thank you, and let us toast in your name. You are the patron saint of Buy Me a Coffee. And here's your toast. May we never go to hell, but always be on our way. Cheers.
Cheers.
So, folks, write a review and share with someone. That's the best way you can help us. You can connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. I mean, you fucking name it, we're there. Good Pods. We've been getting a lot of love on Good Pods, too. A lot of comments there. There you can actually write a review on the specific episodes, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But, I mean, Apple is where we get most clout. So
they say.
If you have a minute, connect with us on Apple and give us a review there. So check you out next week. And remember, do not get taken to that second location. Be good or be good at hiding the body. Cheers.
Cheers. Are you okay? Jesus Christ.
Fucking loud.
You're disgusting, and I hate you both. I hate you.